Time to upgrade my router, and I'm super excited to check out this brand new AX6600. I'm finally upgrading my Wi-Fi 5 router, and this is a tri-band Wi-Fi 6 gaming router, perfect for 3 to 4 bedrooms. I'm excited. Let's open it up, check it out, set it up, and see what it's all about. This is the router itself, and you have a little TP-Link logo right in the center there. Kind of an X design. I quite like that personally. And for your 8 antennas, you're just going to plug them in all along the side there. And a USB 2 port and a USB 3 port on one side. On the other side, here are all of your LAN ports. And these are the antennas. Again, a nice design, guys. All you have to do is kind of push them into place, and that's basically it. Now, they do not move. You can't rotate these antennas, so they are fixed in place. This is the overall router, guys, so you can see the footprint, you can see the design. So it definitely looks like a beast of a router in my opinion. And with all of the antennas, I'm hoping I'm going to get some really great range and speeds with this. Again, Wi-Fi 6 is going to be less crowded than those other channels around your neighborhood, 100% for sure. And I like the design, definitely race inspired, gaming inspired, if you will. But now it's time to check it out. Let's install it and check out all the user-defined settings together and see what it's all about. Logging into the admin control panel of the TP-Link AX6600, and shout out to TP-Link for sending this over for review. This is a main control panel, main page, your splash page when you connect. So you'll see if you're able to connect to the internet by this little check mark. You see which SSIDs you have enabled. So I have a 2.4 and 2.5 gigahertz networks. I also do have a mesh network connected, so I do have a little extra node, but I haven't used that node when I show you the speed tests. That's just a more accurate way to show you the speed test without using a node. And of course, you can see how many clients are connected. So I have a whopping 37 clients connected. No problems at all. That's a little spoiler alert. This router can handle as many clients as you throw at it. And there's your internet information right down there. Now, for those of you that game, you do have a little gaming center. So you can see your network traffic, your upload and download speed, and you can see your CPU load as well as your memory usage as well. And if you have any connected USB devices right over there. Now, the gaming mode is great because if you want to give any specific device, say your PS5 or whatnot, a little bit of priority to the internet, you can go ahead and click on this device priority list, and then it's going to make sure that this device can always access the internet. And you can also select an amount of time. So if you're going to be gaming for, say, 4 hours, maybe you just want to give it priority for those 4 hours. Or you can, of course, not enable any device for device priority. Now, speaking of you gamers out there, you also do have a game accelerator that's going to try and reduce that game latency. So you can go ahead and activate that. And there's a couple other options here as well. You do have built-in antivirus. You do have some parental controls as well. So for example, if you wanted to block certain aspects of the internet for a child, a preteen, a teen, or an adult, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to say maybe a teen. And you can block certain categories. So adult content, gambling. You have all these categories here that you can select. And you can also block keywords. So if they go ahead and search for something online, that's going to go ahead and block it. So that's very important to have for a lot of people. So I'm glad to see a parental control. Number one, this is a high-end router, so you get just about every single feature that you would want. Being an advanced router, and I'm not going to get too detailed about this, if you're an advanced user, you'll be happy to know that within the advanced tab, you can change a lot of things about your internet connection. So you can go in and you can change the DHCP server. You can have it start and end wherever you want it to start and end. You can choose your primary DNS and your secondary DNS servers as well. So you don't have to use the DNS servers provided by your ISP. That's really important. Say, for example, if you want to route it through a Pi-hole or you want to route it through a specific ad blocking DNS, you can go and enable it right down there. You can also reserve IP addresses for specific devices, say for cameras or whatnot. You can have it reserve an IP address for that specific MAC address. Again, these are all high-end features, advanced features that you'd expect on a router at this quality. There's a bunch of settings here as well. There's WPS, and if you need that to set up a printer or whatnot, you do have WPS, so I think that's a good option as well. Now, under home care, this is again is where you're going to see your parental controls if you have any set up. You also have quality of service, so you can choose what you want to prioritize on your network. I have streaming prioritized, but you can see here you have a couple options as well as a custom option that you can do. So you can set up your own quality of service to ensure that whatever you're doing is going to get priority on your network. So I'm going to keep mine at streaming. There also is built-in antivirus. So for you guys that want to have an all-in-one solution, you do have this provided by TP-Link, and you can ensure that you don't have any malicious content on any of your connected devices. So I like seeing that as well. Something else I want to show you, which is absolutely awesome, you do have support for a VPN client. So if you wanted to connect certain devices to be routed through a VPN versus routed through your main connection, you can add them to the device list down here. So I have my Google Home Max connected to my VPN. That's just something that I like to do. And you have up to 6 VPNs that you can add here, but you can only have one active at a time. I'd like to see an update to have at least 2 active so I could have different tunnels, different areas for different devices. But it's still good to have a VPN client. I'm happy to see that on this router, as well as a VPN server. Now, as someone who likes to connect to my home network, this is something super important. This is something that I look for whenever I pick up a new router. VPN server allows you to connect remotely to your home network from wherever you are in the world. So you're able to, in essence, create your own VPN tunnel. Say you're in the UK, but you need to access US sites. You can connect back home to your TP-Link router, and this is a great addition that I like to see on any router, and it's super easy to set up. Just click enable and then export the configuration file, and you also do have other protocols right down here, and you can see who's connected if anybody's connected. Another option here for those of you that use Alexa, you can have Alexa, say for example, prioritize gaming, so you can tell your assistant, hey, I'm about to game, let's turn on that gaming priority, and your assistant is going to be able to talk to the TP-Link router and do that for you. Now, if you need a mesh network, once again, I do have a mesh network because I just have a lot of interference where I am. You can go ahead and connect a device that's compatible, and you can get that mesh Wi-Fi 6 connection. Now, speaking of mesh networks, unfortunately, it does not broadcast your guest network. It only broadcasts your main SSID. I kind of wish it broadcasted the guest network as well, but it only does your main connection. So that's just something I do want to mention about a one mesh system, and that's what they call it. What good are all those fancy features if you don't have a lot of speed? So let's do a speed test right next to the router to kind of get our baseline. And there we go. My internet should be about 400 megabits down, so we're getting a little bit more. Thank you, Spectrum. And upload should be about 20. And now let's move, I'd say about 30 feet away. So 30 feet away, we're still doing really good with the download. Now let's go to a second level. We're gonna head on to the upstairs level, and we're gonna be about 30 feet away in front of the router. That's where we are right now. So this is a speed test about 30 feet away on a second level. Speed is still really good. You can see that Wi-Fi 6 logo right at the top there. And you got to remember, I am in New York City. There's a lot of interference here, so this is actually really, really good. If you're somewhere where you don't have a lot of interference, if you're out in the country, if you're out in suburbia, you're definitely going to get better range and better speed. But I'm really happy with the range and speed of this Wi-Fi 6 router. Definitely really good. Now, last test, let's go on that same second floor, but we're going to go right above the router and see what kind of speeds we get. So this is a speed test right above it. Again, going through a second level. Super awesome speeds. And that's basically it when it comes to the TP-Link AX6600. I've been super impressed with it, and I do have quite a bit of clients. 37 clients is definitely a lot. I know you can get a lot more than 37. Trust me, I'm trying. But there's been no performance degradation, there's been no slowdowns, there's been no hiccups. This has been an excellent router, and this is something that I could recommend if you're looking to get into the Wi-Fi 6 game, which really improves your network signal strength. If you have Wi-Fi 6 devices, this is definitely one that I'd recommend. I really appreciate it. I'll catch you in another video.